next to pretty girls and organize. Yes. Sound check the I'm looking for you. Hello? I'm here and she's there. Hi, Jala. Okay. Come closer. So you try and remain in the frame, okay? The minute you feel you're going out of the frame, lean towards this side and I'll move out. Huh? The focus is on. Both.
Hello. Jai Baba.
Aduj, Piduj, Chai Pidij.
Yes.
So speak up a bit louder.
Okay.
Louder.
Yeah. Whenever I can start.
Okay, we've got exactly 1 minute to go.
Okay.
Yeah, Baba. What will I do? Patela, Tutela, Patlun. Okay, time to start the meeting. Jai Baba, everyone. On behalf of the Bombay Center, we'd like to invite you all for this Thursday gathering. We'll first commence with the prayer. Janice, can you do the honors, please?
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Jai Baba, everybody. आज के दिन हनुमान जयंती है. Somehow or the other, we've been fortunate. Last Thursday, it was Ram Navami. This Thursday, it is Hanuman Jayanti. पता नहीं क्यों, मगर the emphasis is on lover of God. हनुमान जी जो थे, उनका मुझे एक ही incident जो याद रहता है, और which most of us must have seen photographs में, कि वो अपनी छाती चीर के दिखाते हैं और उसमें राम सीता दिखाई देते हैं. That is how one has to love God. That is what he wants. Today, before I start rattling off, I'd like to invite our one and only Meher Baba to come and join us for this meeting, and also take over the entire proceedings. Let every speaker speak every word as per his wish. This is what I firmly believe in, and this is how it happens in all of our programs. Today we have with us Zeenia Dalal. She is a fashion designer by profession, studied at the Milan Institute of Designing whatever, so speaks spaghetti very fluently. And we also have Miss Kerawalla. She is a teacher and an educationist. Am I right? Spelling out it? Okay. So before we go into much of all the details, I'd like Zeenia to introduce herself and take over the proceedings and say whatever she has to say. All yours, Zeenia. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Jai Baba, everybody. Thank you, Sam Uncle, for giving me this opportunity over here to speak
Thank
to.
Baba and nobody else.
Definitely. Jai Baba. And like you all know, my name is Zeenia Dalal, and I would like to talk about a few of my experiences since I have been in in the presence of and had the opportunity to be in the presence of Avatar Meher Baba. I would like to start from the very beginning, from the very first time I came to know about Meher Baba. It must be around when I was 10 or 12 years old. Yes. So at that time, my cousin sister, Anaita Kerawalla, she is quite elder to me, and I was like a kid sister. And she had, for the very first time, told me about Meher Baba. She was following him, and she would always keep talking about him. So as a child, I would keep listening to my sister that, she would say stories about Baba or talk about Meherabad. And she told me that, there is a person called Meher Baba, and there is his shrine in Meherabad. And as a child, I didn't understand much, but I would always listen to her. And one fine day, I had gone to her house. She was not there, so I went to her room, and there was a Baba book lying on her table. So I happened to see that book. I don't remember which book it was, but there was an image of Baba on it, maybe of his younger days, the image of his, of his face. And I picked up the book in my hand, and I was staring at his face, and I had this very deep feeling, and I was like, as if I was drawn into looking into his eyes. And as a child, I was like very drawn into, and I don't know, there were mixed feelings. I was a little scared also of those younger days image. And so I put the book down back, and Anaita happened to come, and she told me, yes, this is Baba's book. And she explained me a little bit more about Baba. And she told me that, why don't you come to Meherabad? And soon I got this opportunity to come to Meherabad. I still remember I had gone to Meherabad with Jimmy Khan's trip that he takes. Jimmy uncle had organized a trip to Meherabad, and I and my entire family had planned to take that trip.
What year was it, if you can remember?
Must be
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
2005 or something, probably, that way. So I remember for the first time I had gone into that bus, and we all were headed to Meherabad. My entire family was there. And I still remember that travel was so difficult for me as a child, because I always had this motion sickness. And so long journeys was never a good thing for me. And in those days, the roads were not that great. So it would take longer hours to go to Meherabad. And I was troubled, and I was irritated as a child, as a 10, 12-year-old child. Was very annoyed that why isn't this place coming faster, and all the motion sickness, but all the all the passengers were also super nice. Somebody would offer me a sweet, somebody would say, go to sleep, you will be reaching soon. And I remember the experience because it was so overwhelming for me, the travel. And finally, I had gone to sleep on the trip, and suddenly somebody said that, hey, look, we are almost about to reach Mirabad. And that is the time when I opened my eyes and I looked after, outside the window, and we were at the outskirts, and I didn't have any words to say. It was so beautiful. The flora and fauna looked so different to me. The surroundings were different. We were still in the outskirts. I still remember it was morning time and the sun was nice, bright and golden. That sight I couldn't forget. And then somebody pointed out to, oh, look on your right, there is the, do you see that small flag over there? That is the Samadhi. And it was really magical and peaceful for me. Even though I was so small, I just felt really beautiful. And soon we checked into MPR, and I loved the way how the rules and regulations were of MPR also. The place itself was so beautiful. And I remember one more thing, that in this entire trip, Jimmy uncle had made an atmosphere on most of his trips. This is the atmosphere where you always kind of speak and talk about Baba during your entire 3-4 days, how many ever days you've gone, and try to focus on him. And all around the trip, I heard so many stories about Baba. We were taken to Lower Merazat, to Mirabad, and to the museum and everything. So it was an overall lovely experience. And even the Samadhi, when I reached the Samadhi for the first time, I was really dazzled. And it was very magical how the Samadhi is made, and how I got to take Baba's darshan. It was very very different for me. And that's how this was the first time I went to Mehrabad. Again, when I was returning back from Mehrabad, it was again a difficult journey for me because of the motion sickness and the troubles I had. And in my mind, I was like, although the place is very beautiful, I would love to come, but I'm definitely not taking this long journey in this bus. But Baba had left me with no option. From there onwards, I was kind of drawn to it. I went for multiple trips after that to Mirabad, and many of the Jimmy Khan trips also I attended. And yeah, it was very, very good for me. Multiple things have changed in my life after I have come into this guidance of Baba. And whatever was spoken about, whatever was told about Baba, and whatever I learned through his books, or whatever people spoke about him, listening to the talks which even some of the Mandali members have given, they were very uh, I mean, whatever, where the charts which Baba made and all, I always felt that they all were 100% correct. I never had even 1% doubt any time in my life that, Baba is, he is something else. I don't really believe him or anything. Each and every word and whatever I learned from him, I just felt it was 100% there. He is the avatar of the age, and that was my true belief then also. It was as if, some things to me were as if that I already knew them, and it was just coming to me. So that was a beautiful experience. And there were a few other experience later on in my life, which also I would like to share. Um, when I went to college, I went to Sir JJ School of Art. So I got admissions into this beautiful School of Fine Art, and this must be around 2012. And it was very difficult to get admissions in this school, but somehow I scraped through and got into it. And I realized that there were 4 years in this program, and the first year is like, a rigorous year where they teach you how to draw and how to paint in a super professional manner. It's very rigorous. You have to continuously draw and sketch. So I was not very good at it because I was surrounded with people who were like toppers of the university kind of a thing. And we had to sketch all day. Like in the morning, 1 hour would be thoroughly sketching, and they would teach us fundamental of art and color history. And yeah, basically you had to master the art of using the paintbrush, using the charcoal, etc., etc. And so there was a rule over there that whenever you're traveling, or whenever you suppose you don't come to school, or you don't come, or you're not attending classes, and if you're traveling, or whatever may be the reason, it was fundamental to kind of sketch, to draw, and to paint whenever you're going or traveling anywhere. So I remember during my Diwali vacations, I took a trip to Mirabad again. And so as it was fundamental, I said, I have to definitely go and sketch something. I have to draw something. And I went to Mirabad. I went to the Samadhi, and I was so scared. And within, I was like, I'm not very good at the, drawing. I'm not good at the drawing and coloring part of it. I was very scared to kind of draw in front of the Samadhi. So I said, and there were so many people. So I said, I will go behind the Samadhi. I went to the back of the Samadhi, and those bushes and those plants, the back side of the Samadhi, I literally went and drew that. And I really enjoyed drawing over there, and in Mirabad. It's a very different experience altogether over there. And the trip got over. I took my assignment to school, and my professor asked me, what did you do during your vacations? And I showed him this artwork. The assistant professor said, oh, really? Have you done it? I said, yes. And he took it to, the head of the department, the senior professor. And the professor said, hey, look, I don't think you've done it. You're bluffing. I didn't have any words to tell him, but like he said, aapne ye kiya hi nahi hai, aap jhoot bol rahe ho. And, then I just said, leave it. Wahan wo baat ko wahi chhod diya, and that was there. Later on, when I went to Samadhi, for the first time, I felt the confidence to try to attempt and draw the Samadhi. So I did that, and I would like to share it with the viewers. Yeah. So this is the first time I drew the Samadhi, and this is how it turned up. And then after this, literally, there was no looking back, because the experience I had drawing over there, those brush strokes, the way I drew things over there, it was beyond my understanding, because sometimes I literally feel that I was not drawing. It was Baba who was, literally, stroking the canvas and helping me draw. So that is how this first artwork was made. And after this, there is another one also, which I did lately. Yeah, this is the one painting which I've done very recently. This is an oil on canvas. And so that's what I was trying to say, that after this, there was no looking back. Even in school, everything changed for me with Baba's grace. I branched out into textile designing later on, and all my studies and all my research has always been, I always try to link spirituality with textiles in whatever I do. So um, this was this was just the beginning for me, especially when it came to my career, where I strongly feel that Baba has really helped me and supported me. And I'll just quickly show you a few of my research artworks, which Baba has really inspired me to do.
Sorry to interrupt, but the comments that have been coming through.
Chalu program.
There is one which says, amazing Zeenia. You're right, he takes over. Jai Baba by Archana Grover. Meher Daruwala says, very heart-touching. Fabulous work. All kinds of praises.
Thank you.
May
Baba.
he be praised.
Yes.
Thank you.
So even this is one of my artworks, wherein, this artwork looks like a big cloth of fabric with paint thrown everywhere, but it is literally, I'm trying to show that there are tiny squares in it. These squares I have resembled them as souls, and the artwork is called Faces. In this artwork, basically, how each square is different from one another. In the same way, our faces are also different from each other, and that is how we identify, and differentiate between each other. So in the same way, since all of these squares are a part of one big fabric, the same way we all souls are also a part of one big family. We are part of a big ocean of love, which Baba, calls it. This is the first artwork. And with this, there is another series which I made, which is another artwork wherein I tried to show all these squares are moving towards the light. They are all, all of us individually, all souls have this journey to, move towards the light, to move towards this infinite point where finally you merge with Baba, you merge with God. So this is what I've tried to show in this artwork. And that way I've done like multiple artworks also on
Maybe see that the last slide again, please. For a young lady to think in those lines is incredible. What is this reddish thing here? Is what I'm.
This is so if you this painting is it's a tapestry, and it's really huge. Okay, it's 50 by 30 inches. So this that you see over here, it's like a red thread. If you see, it's starting from the top of the tapestry, ending below. And if you see it in person, it's a face. It's a side face, trying to see the light. It's a face, the nose and the. So that's how I've just laid this red color thread depicting that it's the light that you have to see. It's Baba who you have to remember all the time and try to become one with him that way.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. Archana ji has raised hand. Archana, go ahead.
Jai Baba. Zeenia, I wanted to ask you the same thing that Sam asked you about the thread, and I do see the side profile in that. And secondly, my question is, your color palette goes from dark to light to very light. So does that mean the enlightenment which one gets as you go closer and closer to Baba? Is that what you're trying to portray?
Yes, yes, I am trying to portray exactly that. So,
Beautiful.
you know, as you move gradually, you silence your mind, and as you move towards
Right.
this light, to this infinite light, which
Yes.
finally merge you with Baba. So that is
Beautiful.
right.
Beautiful. Lovely. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you.
Zeenia, this is Jimmy uncle. Can
Yes,
you hear me?
yes, I can.
Zeenia, I remember on our return trip,
Yeah.
you were very, as you said, you had motion sickness. You asked me to stop the bus. We got down. Your
Yeah.
mom was holding you from one hand. I was holding you from the other hand.
Yes.
With a water bottle in the hand, and you puked. You remember that?
Yes, yes, I definitely do remember each and every part of that trip.
Yeah, we had
It
to
was-
stop the bus.
Yes, we had to stop the bus multiple times. I must have, troubled everybody in that bus for that journey, but I think it was all worth it, Jimmy Uncle. Thank you so much for that experience. It was really unique.
Absolutely. Yeah. Happy to see you again. Happy to see you again.
Thank you, Jimmy Uncle. Thank you very much.
This trip, the last trip, we had the same problem as you had. We had a young girl who was miserable, absolutely miserable. And she said, I will never come by bus again. So I said, this is the last time I see you. She said, no, I'll go by car, but I will never come by bus. So I remember that. I don't know if you at that time.
Yeah. Yes, it was very difficult. The bus journey was difficult, but gradually I came out of it. Now I don't think that problem is there anymore. I've come out of it. Now there's no problem going to Mirabad at all. I'm
Bless
always
you.
happy to go there.
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah, so I was explaining the artworks. So this way I have done like many artworks, especially when Baba talks about incarnation. There was one artwork where I was very inspired by that, what Baba talks about, the journey from the stone to the plant to the bird and the fish, the bird, animal and man. So I had worked on a jacquard loom. It was a hand loom, and where I had shown this kind of artwork. So this is the jacquard woven fabric where I try to show. And this eye that you see in the center of the artwork, it's I've used this eye symbol because, Baba is the all-knowing one. And so I've tried to show that in the center. This artwork rotates, round like a clock. So this was one of the works. This is actually a more clear pencil drawing of the whole thing. Yeah. So that is much about it. Not really boosting, but once all my 4 years got over, I came second in university and topped the class. That was it. There were no further words from the professors at all. And
You topped the class?
yes.
Wow.
So Baba has always been there. And still today, I love to go to Mirabad. And I hope that we all hold tight to Baba's Daman, try to remember him as much as I can in all my activities. And that is about it. Thank you so much.
Just a minute. Mr. Kapadia, go ahead, sir.
Jai Baba, Sam uncle, this is Dilshad Kapadia, not Mr.
Oh, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Bolo, bolo. So
Zeenia,
nice to hear you.
Thank you, same here. Zeenia, it was beautiful to hear you, and you somehow have a very ethereal or a pure, sense to whatever you talk and describe. I just had one question. when you were talking about the earlier two paintings, the first two, you mentioned about research artwork. So could you please throw some light on why you said research? It's an area that I have also been interested in and connected to as such.
It is, why I call it research, because, see, Baba he has been the avatar of the age, and this avatar has been coming all the time. So there's no research over there. We all have to understand it is a fact and we believe in all this. But I said research because I studied textiles, and as a profession, whenever I am working, I always keep researching how can I link textiles with with spirituality. That has always been, a part of my thesis, a part of my work even today. Recently, very, very recently, I have started this small clothing line of my own. It's called His Wap, Our Weft. So for those who don't know, warp and weft are like a part of the fabric. So warp is the standing lines of the fabric, and weft is the sleeping line. So it's like the warp is actually like the infinite lines which are running from back of the loom, and weft is where you kind of weave into that. So I call it his warp, our weft. So that's why I call it research. I'm continuously researching where exactly the textiles are coming from, why has it originated, and what are the spiritual ties with it. So that's why I call it research, according to all my research I've done for my thesis that way.
That was beautiful, Zeenia. Thank you so much for sharing. Could you share a little bit of how you see Baba's presence in other spheres of your life?
Other years of my life. Other spheres of my life. Okay. There's only one goal in life which I have understood, and that is to not let off Baba's daman, to follow him truly as he wants us to. And that is the most important thing as per me in my life. And so at whatever I do, whether I do textiles or whether I do, whether I do fashion, whatever I do in my life, I try to just remember him, try to give my maximum time to him. And I do meditate sometimes. And that is one of my major spheres in my life. I always want to concentrate on that only.
You know something? This last bit that you said has brought tears to me and a few others sitting in the audience right here. So we come back to the conclusion that it is not she who has spoken, it is he who spoke through her. And perhaps this young lady doesn't know, or she doesn't realize, or maybe she does, and it may get to her head when I say this, but she is so very fortunate that at this age, or even younger, at this young age, she's been into Baba's fold and has decided to cling on to his daman completely till the end. What more can we ask for in life? Would you like to tell us something about your trip to Milan, or anything happened there? No, honestly, I mean, if there is anything something worth, except for eating spaghetti, did you do anything else?
So Milan, so I went for my higher educations to Milan, and to study. Again, it was a fine art school, to study textiles and fashion. And so basically clothes making was something new that was introduced to me there. And honestly, those 2 years have been a up and down kind of a thing for me. There were very hard days that I had to see there, especially in the beginning. There was so much of language barrier, cultural differences, and many, many small troubles at the beginning, studying a entire new subject, and still I just felt very strong that at any point I would feel scared, or if I would feel don't know what to do, I would always just calm myself down and just remember Baba. And slowly it all turned around again. And later on it was beautiful. It was a gala time for me. I studied, I enjoyed, it was good for me over there. Baba was very much there, there also. I did read that Baba had gone to Milan near the Duomo.
That's what I also feel. And this lady is the first one I know from our center who has been to Milan. There's another young lady who's gone there quite recently, about 6 months back. She's gone to study interior decoration. And perhaps Baba laid foundations for these young budding artists by his visit over there. And may his blessings always be upon them, for now and forever. There is one more comment from Archana, I think. Sam Uncle, there was an article of Baba in Glow magazine that Baba had been to Assisi. Assisi is a different place in Italy. Baba had traveled to Italy quite extensively. Archana says you're a very gentle soul. I don't know what makes her say that. You're a badmas of the first category. Very composed and unassuming. Baba be with you wherever you tread. Jai Baba. So, dear Zeenia, you've not only done a very successful talk, but you also managed to win our hearts. May you always, always prosper under Baba's Chhatra Chaya, under his, what is the word? Under his
Nigeban.
Umbrella, right. Yes, yes, that is the word. Yes. That umbrella which will prevent her from all the evil effects of the world. That's the shield, that's the umbrella that we are referring to. May Baba grant her that here and now. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you very much.
Are you going to, folks, shall we let her go so easily, or shall we ask her questions? Because paisa vasool karna hai. Anybody wants to, you may ask 2 questions each if you like.
This is Ram Noe. I have a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
I would like you to make a nice, beautiful T-shirt of Baba with in pink color with a very nice soft material with his signature in turquoise or blue across the across the front. At least make one and give it to me.
Okay. You said, sorry, I didn't get what you said. The signature?
Yeah, Baba's signature, MS Irani.
That signature. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
across.
MS Irani.
And
Okay.
it has to be in the softest of the pink mix, and it has to be in baby pink.
Okay. Okay. Yes, surely.
Yeah, please do. And may your bond with Baba be stronger than the Rock of Gibraltar. Yeah. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now we'll have to let her go quite scot-free. And we now bring in our second speaker, Miss Kotwal. Sorry, Kerawalla. I'm terrible at names. Please forgive me. And she is an educationist. Something happened last Thursday about her that I had noticed. Last Thursday's meeting almost got over. And then I handed over the mic to her to recite a prayer. I gave her the mic to recite the prayer, thinking that after one prayer, I would be able to hand over to another and then to the third one for the third prayer. But this lady, she kept her eyes closed and she was so engrossed in it, so deeply engrossed. After the prayers, she did the Buzave Nar and everything. And I, for one, didn't have the guts to break that link between her and Baba. And after this whole program was over, last Thursday's speaker, Balakrishna, he called me up to ask who was the person who did the prayer, because he could feel the sincerity. So this much I can say. I don't know much about education because I'm the most uneducated fellow. But Baba has his own ways, his own unique ways of bringing people together. And all I can say is today, if she cannot fit in the entire thing that she has to say, we can always have her come back the next time, because there's another friend of hers called Falafel who will also come and share things with us. Anyway, Jai Baba. Go ahead.
Jai Baba. Sorry. A very good evening to all of y'all. First, before starting, my sincere gratitude to Avatar Meher Baba to even sit here and talk about him. I mean, first when Sam Uncle came and said next Thursday you two are going to speak, I just took it a little casually until when I left. I remembered his eyes and I told myself while going on the Activa home, I said, no, I can't take this lightly. It is Baba. It's not something random. And that hit me. And I would always tell Zeenia, okay, Thursday. And yeah, thank you, Baba, for this. So Sam Uncle said, you can share what you feel, how you came connected to Baba and everything. whether you didn't believe in Baba also initially, or whatever your experiences are. So a decade ago, through the same source as Zeenia got to know about Baba, I too got to know, she happens to be my sister-in-law, Anaita, that there is someone as Meher Baba. Never in my childhood, never in my schooling life, I never knew that there is someone like Meher Baba. It's only when I went to her place, heard a little about him, saw many photos, then I understood, okay, there is someone. But honestly, that time I will say I never thought of, or I was very fine in just myself, my religion, my prayers. And I was like, okay, there is someone. Then I remember one day, some topic must have come out and I saw one photo of Meher Baba. And we have that, at least I had that impression of God as we are supposed to be very sincere, very serious a bit, and very respectful. Like if I say from education point of view, like a principal is in front. Then I saw one day Baba's photo. It had crossed legs and he was lying like this. So I thought to myself, who is this God who is lying, feet crossed? And that attitude was definitely there on his face. And I was looking at that and I was really admiring, really. And I want to say today, yes, really, that is Baba. But it didn't happen all of a sudden. Like he was there, his photo was there. Many people used to go, many family members used to travel, everything was there. But we say now there is a timing. That timing was not there previously. But he was there. I was added in some groups where I would read his quotes. I would ponder upon them very seriously. I would reflect and really try to implement them, but still never felt the need to really look upon him. Then came 2020. And one thing I did honestly through all the decades, I always attended Baba's birthday sessions at any auditorium and the skits that were presented by Bombay Center. I used to make it a point that 25th February evening, usko to empty rakhna hai and you have to attend that. I used to get carried away by the talks of the speaker, the acting, the person who acts as Meher Baba. I literally would think also that he is, because I had less of knowing of Meher Baba then. And that was my only connect for almost 10 years with Baba. Till 2020, after the program of Meher Baba, I came out, there were some books. I had a few books gifted, but it never hit me. I read it, but it has to go in. I saw one book called Inviting His Grace. And that was a topic that my guide and I were talking about grace. So I said, let me pick this up and let me think what it is all about. And when I read it, I feel there was a small pull towards Baba, a small pull, but I was reading, I was going on. And then COVID came. We were all trapped in the homes. Nothing. For me, I would always go to the fire temple every single day. There was no fire temple either. It was like, on that side, when we are external, like I can say that I'm quite external as a person. I need some hold. And I was not getting that time. I did feel little lost, but I think I was taken up again. And I remembered that time, one session of God Speaks book reading was going on. And so I thought, let me have a try to go, but I didn't want to inform my family members that I'm going for that. And as I said, that, first impression of God is ekdam strict, sincere and all. But Baba being Baba, first session very conveniently from the back door, jaisa 10 minutes late, I entered the Zoom meeting. I heard, I came out. But the next day, I entered. I was operating with Zoom and my speakers like for 2 months. It's not possible. But all of a sudden, between the session, I think it was Jimmy Uncle who was talking, and that time it said the Bluetooth device is disconnected. The Bluetooth device is ready to connect. So my device got unmuted, and on the whole screen, it just came that Farrah Kerawalla is speaking. So that I didn't want others to know. Baba ensured everyone in the meeting knows it. Jai Baba. So yeah, we can laugh it, but then I realized that broke that ego section of mine. And I can very openly today talk about, I was initially, before having Baba in my life, talking about my mistakes was not so easy. Today, I can say this with love to my Baba, that it has become easy to accept and to move on positively. And yeah, I went ahead with that. But Baba was there, but I never looked at him. But when I was working on laptop, I don't know why, I had a gift of an agarbatti stand with Baba, and that agarbatti moved out and I only had that Baba stand, this small. And I would keep it exactly in front of my laptop and work. One fine day in the COVID period, all of a sudden from the window, a kite came flying. And when that kite came flying, it missed the balance of the window and it came inside. And I didn't know what to do. I just bent down. I don't know whether it was me or it was the kite. And my whole brand new laptop fell down. I just ran into another room, petrified what just happened. And after that, I came out and I'm seeing glass. And it was really expensive. And I just bought it not even a month back. But only when I lifted that laptop, I realized my laptop was spick and span perfect. It was Baba's acrylic that broke. It was not the laptop that broke. And that time I cried, I wept a bit, not because that my laptop got saved and my faith in Baba grew in that case. It was not that. But I felt that I didn't know too much of Baba then also, but still I felt that he took it on him. So how much he takes it on him, I felt, and I really looked for that. So that was something that was very strong. And today, I don't know, it is fortunately or unfortunately, just in this January, I lost that acrylic. It just fell off. My purse only fell off somewhere and it went. And that time, one day I cried. But then the previous speaker only told me, don't be attached to materialistic things. He's everywhere. We don't need to take him in a frame. And I tried that. And yeah, I shouldn't be attached to X here, but it should be within. And after COVID, times changed. I started reading few books. All of a sudden it came, I went, everything. But then came 2022. I can say the D year for me and my journey with our beloved Baba. It was his birthday. I still remember before coming for the session, I was reading through my diary, my own diary. And I remember that I attributed on his birthday a note to him. And that love I've written in that, even my smile is not diminishing. That was that ferventness that was growing in me. But till then, I had never gone to Mehrabad. And it was continued. And then came April, when as an into education, all my endeavors were coming to an end. That academic year was ending. Things were getting sorted. And all of a sudden, I get to know through my sister-in-law that there is a trip to Mehrabad. Just one Saturday, go, Sunday come. She said, go na. I said, yeah, but it's just day after tomorrow. So she gave me an answer, what have you to do? Put 2 clothes, go. That's it. That was the answer she gave. I said, okay. I called up Zeenia, and Zeenia told me something which hit me hard that time. She said, Farrah, there is a trip. I didn't even know of it. It's Baba calling. I will definitely come. We have to go. And then I asked my other friend also, who needs almost minimum 15 days of mental time to get prepared to come for a trip. And I told her the same dialogue that my sister-in-law told me, you just have to put 2 clothes and go. And somehow Baba's call is Baba's call. We can't deny that. And we all 3 happened to then go. That was 9th of April, 2022. I reached Mehrabad. I was told that, okay, windmills are coming, so we are close. I said, okay, we are close. We reached the MPR. It's Baba everywhere. Murals were there. Writings were there. I went to the Samadhi also in the evening. A new experience. But 10th of April, a tour person said, we'll just have the Aarti, do the darshan, and we leave. That time, because of COVID, we were allowed inside the Samadhi, but the barricade was kept not to touch the tomb. And I entered like any next person who would enter Baba's room. And I bowed down. And when I got up, I don't know what happened. I still don't know what has happened. And I had tears, few tears, but those few tears coming out of my eyes, which has never happened in my life. And I am only looking at Baba's photo in the Samadhi. I won't say I felt currents inside, but I felt something very different. And my tears were rolling. And then I can say my connect, or what Baba says, it's not the seeker, but it's the sought who wants the seeker, whatever way. It then just started from there. And I never wanted to leave Baba after that. I can say I was going slowly, slowly, slowly. I remember after coming from the trip, I was never even coming to the center. I just came once in my life in those decades. Once. I used to sometimes come below. I used to see these photos outside of Meher Baba. I used to wait down on the Activa and look at the center, not understanding what's happening inside. And then I took that step. I told my friend, let's go. Can we go? What is it? And then we slowly, slowly started, at least I slowly, slowly started coming. And yeah, today I try to come here as much as I can. And after that, I have kept constant connect to Baba. So I would take some books. Like when I returned from the first trip, I took Divine Humor Part 1, and that got over. So then I got that link of online shopping where I got to know that, oh, there is another book of Divine Humor Part 2. So I nicely ordered. I ordered some photo, this, that, everything. But the person who took the order took it on Friday when I gave it on a Tuesday. That time, he called me to tell me on Saturday, sorry, Jai Baba, but there is not one availability of a photo. I said, that's fine, no problem at all. And next day, that gentleman is calling me and saying, Jai Baba, I got a photo. Can you please come down your house? I will give it to you, no problem. And I said, no, I'll come wherever you are. He said, no, I'm passing by. And I didn't get my courier. I didn't get that parcel of the photo that I wanted. But I got the Samadhi photo. I got the Aarti book. I got 2 magnets. There was no money of that. He just came and said, no, I was taking out for myself. I gave it to you. You wanted it. Jai Baba, and it went. When I came from Mehrabad, I used to look on my mobile and see that online Aarti. I didn't have that Aarti book for a month almost. And this was later. And he just came and gave me and he went away. Then I got the Aarti book. I would say Baba wanted me to have that. And Baba had wanted me to look at him, maybe that through those eyes, through the Samadhi photo. And yeah, I keep it everywhere where I go. Sometimes some people in the house also says, Are you carry everywhere you go. But yeah, I want to do that. I don't want to leave him.
Got this photo here also. Here we go.
Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Yeah. Someone has written, "This is calling and the perfect
Archana
time."
Grover. Farrah, that was his calling and the perfect time.
Yeah.
Your love was being nurtured by him. He is our compassionate father.
Thank you, Archana.
How beautiful that is.
Yeah. And yeah. And then I would keep one or the other reading. Somewhere on my Facebook also, X group, Y group, Z group of Baba, whatever. I felt that is the way we could constantly be in touch. My way, probably. Anybody else has another way, and that's beautiful. And somewhere down the line, I got a PDF of Mehra's book. And at that passage of life, before Mehra's book, April, I went to Mehrabad. Okay. Then I started coming here, things settled. But then I had that urge, I want to go to Mehrabad again. But not so strongly, but I wanted to go. And somehow during Diwali, through the center group, I went. And I went there, and that time, no COVID restrictions, so we could touch the tomb. I was happy. I said, great. Now I am satisfied. I met Baba, and I came back. And only when I came back, I realized one attraction of Mehrabad, which made me so restless. It made me even sometimes to be really upset, sad, in despair. Till in the next 10, 15 days, my brother came and said, we are planning a small trip. Do you want to come? I didn't even think once, twice. I said, yes, I'm coming. And then I felt, okay, yeah, I'm going. It gave me a purpose to live. Again, I went. I came back. Okay, not that depressed, but yeah, I never like to return from Mehrabad. But again, I felt, no, I want to go. And when I don't feel this now, in the sense sometimes things don't turn, it scares me. But I know for one thing, I remember in one movie, I don't know, at Mehrabad, it was Dr. Gohar or who was it, or Gulmai? I don't know. One person said, she asked Baba that, Baba, after meeting you, is it going back? So she acted like Baba and said,
That was Mani Auntie, Baba's sister.
okay,
She had asked Baba,
yeah.
okay, Baba, what happens to your lovers? They reach a certain degree or certain destination, and then they die or pass away. What happens in their next birth? Do they have to start all over again? And Mani Auntie very beautifully portrayed Baba, and she did this, and she said, no. They pick up from where they left. They pick up from where they left. All these young ladies and men sitting here, you've all picked up from where you left. That's what it all boils down to.
Yeah.
We all have picked up from where we left. Sorry, go ahead.
No. When you were saying this, my eye went on the paper where I thought of some points. I read one article of Meher Baba where somebody is telling Airaj, Airaj, tell me one thing. When we are bowing down in front of Baba's chair, we are kidding, right? Because he's not there. Airaj told him, you're kidding, you're right. But you're kidding to say that Baba is not there. Before the talk started, my friend, I told her start first. Whatever be the reason, I felt within she should start. And she only said, sit next to me, no matter what, sit next to me. And I said, okay. And I kept the chair, and somehow because of these photos, I didn't happen to sit next to her and I was in the audience. And then I saw this chair and I said, no, it's not empty. Baba is definitely next to her, who's guiding her. And Baba is always with us, no matter what. For me, after knowing Baba, there is a board here that I come and I read always that trust God. I always don't say God, I say trust Baba completely, and he will solve all your difficulties. Faithfully, everything leave to beloved Baba, and he will see to everything. I tell myself, Farrah, this is the first thing in life, because we cannot shirk our duties and just leave anything. But since we are in this world, this is the first thing, that have the confidence and courage to give it to Baba. Don't hold it after giving it to him. Give it. And trust me, I do practice. Like last year when I was coming here, I was not sure too much, like education-wise, fine. Stability in things, in job, what to do ahead, things were nurturing. I never questioned. In fact, I remember there was one interview that I had to go, and I came near this photo and I felt a voice saying, you won't get it. And I said, let me not believe that at that point. And I didn't get it. Only to know that today I got something much better. So whatever is Baba's plan now, I didn't question why I didn't get it. I try and I tell, Baba says one thing, never tell anybody to do something that you don't have the capacity to do. So when I tell my friends or anybody that don't question God, Baba ne na pucho I kain thayuj. But have the courage to accept that Baba is so compassionate. Just even for half a minute, if you look into his eyes, you will only see love. And that compassionate Baba, why will he trouble us? It will be something of us which is not allowing him to shun it. But Baba is beautiful. I read somewhere where somebody asked that, why is it that Baba people look at you and they start crying? Baba told, and I wanted to know why. Baba said, top to bottom, I am love. So when they meet love, they are uniting from their duality. And my only prayer, if I ask something to Baba, which also I try now not to, is Baba, don't you ever leave me and go. That's it. I have many things, but yeah, this is something that defines me today at this position. I don't know tomorrow what's there in store tomorrow for anything of life. But yeah, one thing I want to be sure of is I don't want to let go of Baba. I recently got a new job. And when I asked, okay, so I asked, sir, Saturday working? He said, Saturday working. My first thought to my mind, how will I go to Mehrabad now? That was my first thought. But then if Baba has given this at this point, I'll respect it and I have to do it. It's my duty and responsibility. And to come to him, he will himself take it out. But yeah, that defines my journey. 1 year, I'm waiting for 9th and 10th April, 10th especially, because I think that day I connected or he got that connect, sought or seeker. And one thing before I end, before I started the session at 5:45 on our Meher Baba group, there came a message. Do not be mistaken for love and devotion. So say if you think of me, if you read about me and you are about me, don't think you have become my lover. So it got me for that 1 minute to think, who am I? But Baba said, you continuously try doing that. Because my love, when you will see it or feel it, it is limitless. So I don't know, I am a Baba lover. What am I? But I tell Baba, Baba, I love you in my limited sense right now, because the one who loved you the way you ought to be loved is Mehra. And when I read Mehra's book, I should tell you, I'm sure there will be many people who have read it. Mehra ji never missed even once. Whenever we read a book, it will say Baba came, Baba this. Whenever Mehra ji spoke about Baba, Mehra ji said, and then Baba was standing there. So beautiful. His thin sadra was flying in the air. His brown golden hair. His eyes were compassionate. And every sentence in that book, whenever she spoke of Baba, she always ensured to say, and Baba was so beautiful. It was joy. And then she would narrate whatever it is. So, yeah, I don't know where we stand, what we do, but in our ways, I pray to Baba that we love you as you want us to love you, and we connect to you. We remain connected to you. You are in. We realize you. We need to realize you always. That always has to happen more strong. And so I take the photos or some things that, if you get disconnected, I just took it on my trip right now, and I gave it to few people with the prasad. And when I look at this photo, I just look at his smile, and no matter how worrisome the situation be, I look at the two smiles, one on his lips and one in his eyes, and I say it will be resolved. With that, I say Jai Baba. And thank you, Baba, for this opportunity to share this love with you. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Farrah. She used this phrase, the seeker and the sought. And today, I would like to coin a similar phrase where the learner and the learned. I don't know if I'm expressing this properly, but from the talk of these two ladies, I've got to learn so much, so very much. And all I can say is thank you, Baba, because last Thursday when I asked them, they just readily agreed. And that was a great relief for me, because I was searching quite desperately for someone to come and speak. But it was not me who was desperate. It was he who made me desperate to get them here and speak. And by God, they've done a fantastic job, for which I'm sure, I'm very, very, very sure he must be pleased today. He must have been very pleased today. Please.
On 25th of February this year, on his birthday, we had an article of him in Times of India and Parsi Times. In a very gist, he said, about the true freedom. We all look for economic freedom, some cultural freedom, social freedom, some look for religious freedom. He said the most difficult is spiritual freedom. He told in that see, the difficulty in spiritual freedom is the aspirant has to get freed from the desires, from their wants. And that is only one aspect. But spiritual freedom has one more addition, is to share the responsibility of God as well after realizing that. So he said that, if there is an economic difficulty, you will give somebody food or money and that person is immediately respited. But how do you respite somebody who is in the midst of wanting spiritual freedom? So you have to share that. And I realized that we have to get, I'm not saying we have to get people to, start worshipping Baba, but we have to get people to worship that love that Baba wants us. Like somebody had once said, Baba loves his lovers, or, Baba gets the weakness of Baba, or something is the lovers. He corrected or somebody corrected. And I remember this part that he said, no, my weakness is not my lovers. My weakness is the love of my lovers. So Baba has given us today this opportunity to share this love. If at all, it gives you an experience and that spiritual freedom, which every Thursday and every session, whatever happens at the center, or minusculely every person who does any responsibility towards Baba, I look at them with a lot of gratitude, because it takes their time. It's not only conducting, it's a lot behind everything, lot. And that's something we look.
I'll tell you a very small secret. Of course, it is tough. It is hard work, blah, 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 blah. But there is the joy, which is undescribable. It cannot be described. And my experience has been that till the very end, he makes us Maro Fafa, organizing the laptop, this, that, sound check, blah, 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 blah. But when the minute happens and the program starts, he just takes over and brings us to wherever we are now. This is his doing, nobody else. All I can say is me and the others who participate in Baba's work is, we are all just grateful for having been granted or given this opportunity, because there's so much to learn from it. I don't want anything more to say. Shall we end?
Yes, yes.
Okay, since the boss says to end, we'll end it.
Sam, Jimmy, can I talk to Farrah for a minute?
Sorry? Yeah.
Can I talk to Farrah for a minute?
Yeah, certainly. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll make it brief. Farrah, this is Jimmy, uncle. We haven't met yet.
Yes, yes.
You talked about attachment and detachment, but you talked about the material things
Yes.
in terms of a locket or a brooch or a photograph being lost.
Yes.
The ultimate detachment is our detachment with our loved ones.
Yes.
That is the ultimate detachment.
Yeah.
That is the highest form of maturity, spiritual maturity, to come to a point where you are detached from your loved ones.
I think I'll take time but I'm working on that as well. But I realize every time he says, get detached. And what you're saying is, yes, something
It's
very,
very tough.
very tough. But at the same time, it's this detachment which will give you that, I feel, which will give that ultimate connect to Baba wholly.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jimmy uncle. Thank you.
Bad yet. Bye.
Is somebody raise?
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. It's time now for prayer and Aarti. So please don't go away. After the prayer and the Aarti, there'll be a moment's silence. And then we will depart. Thank you. Please, everybody participate in the prayers, okay?
I do the English is fine. English prayer. Hindi kari.
Yeah, can I pass it?
Oh, false. तो मैंने खाली book.
Yes.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और न तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहोगे, रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो। तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोगों पर हो और समस्त लोगों से परे भी हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्पर परब्रह्म भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो और मज़द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभु राज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं, हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द तथा विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दंभ या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं, और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभु राज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए, और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सब की ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। बुझावे नार जहलतनी ये कर कुद रत्न फरमातु छैलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमातु आया मुर्शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न दरिए सर खुदाना जात थी वाके फथई बे थो मेहर बातू तुझे माँ लिख की कतनो तू आशिक भी नयारिफ भी तुझे दरी या है वहदत मारे फतनो होई तूफातू हमोर है रव मेहर साले बख्शे ज्ञान इज़दनो के तू पर मात्मा ज्ञानी छे नय मुख तारे इरफातु खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके साकिया पीरे पय मातु हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें डरिए हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा चयनी गे बातू हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा छय निघे बातू बुझावे नार जहलतनी ये कर खुद रत्ने फरमातू छय लागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमातू। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious eternal ancient one, your face is a bright transcendental sun, lighted this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart meher I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are, truth and truth's body, divine avatar, who through compassion the three worlds maintains, destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind, break the wheels up which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining guard. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the days, till you, the ever-living perfect one, illumine my darkness with your shining sun. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। मेहर बाबा की जय।
Thank you, everybody. Just before we part, a few small announcements. This Sunday, we'll be having Winning His Heart program. Please check our websites and get the info if you haven't got it yet. It's supposed to be the intuitive art event this Sunday. We've also uploaded all our Baba birthdays ongoing programs on the YouTube. For those of you who wish to watch it, they are really worth watching. And of course, this program today was recorded and is available on the Facebook. So go ahead and enjoy all this in His love. Thank you.